Hello everyone, how's life today? There are so many questions currently sent through my Facebook account and other social media, which mostly deals with um the inconsistency of speaking skill competence. So many English learners are doubt about their oral competence because they never have a chance. They find difficulties in finding opportunities and circumstances that enable them to speak in the target language. It also happens to me quite frequent that when I'm losing some of my oral competence in speaking skills in terms of the way how I create a sentence, the way how I construct the ideas, and also when I speak in front of the public, I'm starting to losing my English. I don't know why. Maybe because of the situations, because of the psychological motivations, and maybe caused by another factors. But as far as I'm concerned, English proficiency is also one of the competence because it is a competence. It deals with memory. It deals with the capturing the knowledge and competence which is kept there in your linguistic repertoire. Because 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 English is one of the competence, then you have a risk of losing it. It's just like when somebody forget how to, get into the car. Somebody forget how to cook their daily meals because they never practice it or never have an opportunity to practice it, to do it in the real contact situations. As I told you before in my previous video that in terms of English as a foreign language, we have very specific problems that we cannot transfer what we learn in a formal education to the real context in the community. Say, uh, I found many students, many English learners in my class during my period of teaching English that they are very capable in rendering the grammar. They even can possibly pass a very high score in proficiency tests. But then when these people uh, getting into the atmosphere for them to speak, it looks like they cannot apply what they uh, understand in grammar. It makes me to conclude that a grammar competence does not directly reflect the speaking competence or proficiency in speaking. But one of a very serious problem is that, again, we are talking about the time, the period, or the length of study. Because we have a very short time period of study, and we also don't have a target community to get this competence in formal education be applied in terms of real context, then that's the gap that we need to overcome together. So, in today's mode of communications in digital era, you can interact with people all over the world. Even you can make friends with English speaking community in your Facebook account. By that, you can engage with communications that enable you to use your English in the real context, like chatting, commenting on the status, or even you jump into the discussion, into the extensive discussion that enable you to produce more extensive speeches and more extensive communication breakdowns. But for those who have no time and and access to such kinds of circumstances, you may create your own video recording. You can pretend to be anybody you like. You can pretend to be a president, you can pretend to be a counselor, you can pretend to be a teacher, you can pretend to be any profiles that you think you're capable of. By that kinds of thing, you can produce whatever you want to say in your own understanding, and at the same time you don't lose your chance to recalling back your oral competence or your memory again, because I absolutely agree with the sayings that practice makes perfect, because in terms of language learning, practice is not only a process, but it is the language itself. Means of learning a language, whatever the language is to be able to communicate with people. But because you don't have a people to be your speaking partner, that could be a very specific problem. By that, you can create your own atmosphere by translating any things that you think you can translate, you can promote into English mode of learning. So I think enough for today. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.